Got to be real.
Yes, guys, what's going on? So we've got with us Joel De La Hoya today, the brother of the famous Oscar De La Hoya. How you doing, Joel? You well?
Everything's great. Everything's great.
Right now, first of all, you've been in the corner of Oscar for many, many years, and Oscar's had he's changed a lot of things in his camp, but he always kept you there, and you've been a vital part of his team. Could you talk about firstly about how that was for you in the going through the Olympics, the ups and downs, through his career?
Definitely. Yeah, well, that's pretty much where it all started in '92. He turned pro in November, and since then I was working with him at his camp. I was the camp manager, running his camps and hiring and firing the sparrings and doing his accounting there, and working hand in hand with every coach and trainer that came into our camp, which was a great experience in itself there, working with the likes of Ryan Stewart and Freddie Roach and Floyd Mayweather and Gil Clancy and so on and so forth. And I was one of the fortunate ones that stood in there for the long haul.
Yeah, for sure. Now, could you talk a little bit about, we know Oscar's been through some terrible patches and we wish him all the best from Be Real TV. Could you talk a little bit about, how it's been, obviously you're his brother, you've had to be there for him. Could you explain a little bit about through the bad patches, how you've been there for him and what's been going on recently as well?
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously in his business, in any business, there's always, turmoil. There's always good. There's always bad things that can happen with employees, with CEOs, what have you. But all I can say, as of now, is that he's got, like he likes to say, he's got the bull by the horns, and he's manning the ship and taking over his company.
For sure. Now, a name that's coming up in boxing more and more as time's going on is Al Haymon. And recently, Richard Schaefer's, come out of Golden Boy. And you being Oscar's brother and being around the business, you must hear a lot of things in regards to Al Haymon. I recently read an article on Al Haymon and his plans to create a boxing monopoly and, create an online subscription channel, and things of that nature. Could you talk to us a little bit about Al Haymon and what you think about everything that's going on with the current situation of Richard Schaefer leaving and the current situation in Golden Boy and promotional aspect of boxing?
Right. Well, Haymon, I don't know him personally per se. I've met him a couple times. Obviously at the fight scene. He has a big list of fighters that he let's say quote unquote advises. He's really, like you said, really seems like he's monopolizing what he's doing in the industry. But all I can say again is, I just hope everything is on the up and up and doing everything the way it should be done. If he's signing these fighters, I just hope they're all aware of what's going on and that he does a good job for the kids. I don't, like I said, I don't personally know him, so I can't really speculate too much on him. But I can say that all I want is for the kids that are signing with him or the kids that are thinking of signing with him to just look out for themselves and look out for their best interests and make sure everything is running accordingly and there's nothing, no funny business going on in the background.
For sure. Now, there's quite a few fighters who I understand who aren't under a promotional contract with Golden Boy, and a lot of them are with Al Haymon. How does it go? And I mean, like, there's Amir Khan, there's Danny Garcia, there's these fighters. Are the bulk of them? How do you deal with in regards to you've got some fighters who are signed with Al Haymon, some of them aren't signed with Golden Boy. How would you find a middle ground to deal with everyone and what's going on currently with that?
Yeah, that's just situation that Oscar and his people are handling right now, as far as who's signed and who isn't signed. I just hope for the sake of all involved that everything is done accordingly. Everything's done the right way, and hoping these, because like you said, who really knows who's signed with who and who's not. But Oscar's just trying to do the best that he can do for his promotional company. He wants to put out the best fights out there, and And that's the reason I have my fighters with him, because he's the premier promoter out there, and they know how to put on shows.
Now, moving on a bit more about you and your fighters now. I understand you've got quite a few. You're managing quite a few fighters of your own. You were out of boxing for a good while, and you've come back. Could you talk a little bit about the boxers that you've currently got, and more specifically about the ones who are fighting on the Canelo and Lara undercard?
Yes, definitely. It's JDLH management currently, and I don't mind having a small stable. You know, it's nothing like like Al Haymon, who has 60 odd fighters.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different story there. Yeah, the kids I do have, though, I mean, I started them from the beginning, from the beginning of their careers, and that's something I wanted to do, to develop these kids. Currently, I have Francisco Vargas, who's fighting on the Canelo undercard against the tough two-time ex-world champion Juanma Lopez.
Yeah.
That would be, I believe that's the opening on the pay-per-view. They were kind of switching it up. They don't know if it was going to open up the pay-per-view or be like the second fight of the pay-per-view, but he's definitely on the pay-per-view. He's 19-0, 13 knockouts, 2008 Olympian, great fighter, straightforward, a lot of punches, great conditioning, and I believe that could be the fight of the night, because I don't think there's going to be a guy that's going to want to take a step backwards. So that could create a lot of fireworks, and definitely you have the Puerto Rico-Mexican rivalry, which adds even more allure to the fight. And tomorrow, I have Diego de la Hoya, who is fighting this tough kid, a lot of experience, 25 fights. His name is Miguel Tamayo, out of Mexico. And that would be on Fox Sports. Diego is currently 5-0 with 4 knockouts. A vast amateur experience. He had over 250 fights. So I don't mind stepping him up a little sooner, because he does have all that experience. Then I have Hugo Centeno, who's out of Oxnard. He's 21-0, 11 knockouts. He's moving up to middleweight, and we're looking for some good things for him as well. And then I have Julian Ramirez, who's another super bantamweight, 122 pounders. He's 11-0 now, 6 KOs, and he's a lot of fun to watch. Southpaw, very exciting, strong kid, and he should be fighting in August pretty soon. And then I just signed this kid, Alex Luna, who is he's actually 17-0. He's got 13 knockouts. He is a lightweight, 135 pounder. He's one of the kids that I signed that already had an established record, but he didn't have any guidance, any management. So he reached out to me and helped him out, and he's a great fighter. So be looking out for him as well.
It's really, I'm really happy to hear that you've got quite a strong stable of fighters, especially with what's currently going on in boxing. I think, obviously, Bob Arumy's getting quite old himself. We don't know how long, I hope he has a long life, but we don't know how long he's going to be around for. And, with what's going on with Al Haymon, it's looking kind of bleak with a monopoly getting created in boxing. So I'm really glad to hear that you've got quite a strong stable of fighters there.
Thank you.
Also, I can't let you go without asking you about the big fight, which is just a few days away now. Erislandy Lara versus Saul Canelo Alvarez. Obviously, I know you're going to go with Canelo Alvarez, so I'm not even going to ask you that question. But me personally, I've picked Canelo Alvarez to win this fight. But Erislandy Lara obviously poses a huge threat. Where do you guys go if Erislandy Lara wins?
If he wins, that's a tough one, because Canelo is the bread and butter right now for Golden Boy. Canelo he's a big draw. Obviously, the pay-per-view star of the Golden Boy stable. But yeah, I mean, I wish nothing but the best for Canelo, but he is in a tough fight. Lara is very talented. Him being a southpaw, being a big natural 154 pounder, can pose a lot of problems. But I can see Canelo wearing him down. I can see him wearing him down, and possibly even stopping him. But not before flat out. Possibly keeping a little, couple little surprises here and there. But I don't know. I just see this kid overpowering him and smothering the guy and possibly taking him out. But yeah, I mean, for Golden Boy's sake, I really hope Canelo wins.
Hopefully, well, we're behind Canelo Alvarez at Be Real TV. Now, Joel, just finally, I just wanted to ask you, could you tell us a little bit about the future with you, with Oscar, and what you're gonna do moving forward, and obviously with the whole Al Heyman issue and Richard Schaefer, what you intend on doing in the future now?
Yeah, well, the only, I mean, because I'm managing fighters now, so I don't work for Golden Boy. It's a conflict of interest if I'm working for them. Obviously, I take my fighters to the best promoter out there, which is Golden Boy. And what I'm trying to do is to get the best talents and get Golden Boy to sign them. I mean, obviously, you have to go with the best deal that's out there. Whoever offers you the better deal for the kids, because I'm looking out for the best, the best for my kids. And so far, it's been Golden Boy. But yeah, I just wish nothing but the best for them. And all I want to do is get the best fighters, and if they make the best offers, then they sign with Golden Boy. Just like every other manager does, you go out and get the best deal out there for their fighters. But obviously, I want nothing for the best, not just the Golden Boy, but my brother. I mean, he is my brother, and I care for him dearly. And I wish him and his company nothing but the best.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. May God make it easy for you guys.